As you can see from the title of this video, we've got some pretty big news, guys.
In this video, we are going to tell you the story of everything that has happened so far. We're going to reveal the gender to you. We're going to talk about having a breakdown and what this means for the channel.
Is this the end of the travel beans?
Just before we flew to the US, we had some very exciting news.
So the day after booking the flight to New York, literally the next morning, we booked it for 3 months, we found out that she's pregnant.
And where are we on the way to now, Alex?
We are about to go and do the first
Viability scan.
After
So
6 weeks.
yeah, it's a 6-week scan just to make sure everything's going as it should go.
We're super excited.
Yeah.
This is the first chance we're going to get to see our own little bean.
So we actually found out that we were pregnant whilst we were in our camper van in the UK, just before we flew to the US.
Yeah, so I took one of those pregnancy tests that you can get the results 6 days before your missed period. I couldn't wait. I was too excited.
As we were flying out to the US about a week later, we knew we had a lot of things to arrange, and we were pretty apprehensive about it because we didn't want to be flying to the US and back to the UK and back to the US doing appointments and stuff. So we tried to figure out how to do it in the US.
In the end, we decided to do it there, just bite the bullet and pay for it, because we figured we'd spend just as much money on flights going back and forth, minus all of the stress of the jet lag. That was crazy. I can't believe it has a little heartbeat.
Yeah, right now it looks like a little smudge, but it's our smudge.
A little smudgy bean.
Can't see because I've got a mask on, but I have a constant smile. Look at that.
This was the moment it definitely all started to feel very real.
They played the heartbeat for us, and we just weren't expecting it.
Took us by surprise massively, didn't it?
Yeah.
It was wild. And so at this point we actually were really distracted by all this pregnancy stuff, because at the same time was when we were in New York looking for a camper van to buy, and it was just so hard to focus on searching for the van, filming the whole process, and dealing with the pregnancy.
Straight from this appointment, we actually went to go and look at a camper van. And this is when we decided that we'd start dropping some subtle hints to you guys.
My only concern with it would be the future-proofing of it, in that there's only one bed in there. So if there's ever any more of us than just the two beans, it could be a bit of a squeeze.
So eventually we would like to start a family, so it's definitely something that we want to consider, is just having somewhere that the little bean could be as well, instead of having to sell and buy something new.
Yeah, the hassle of it all. Yeah.
After this video came out, you guys are on to us, and a number of you message us privately or comment saying Emma's pregnant.
Yeah, or you were just calling me fat, I'm not quite sure which. As much as we wanted to shout the news from the rooftops, we had to restrain ourselves, because we knew that the risk of a pregnancy ending in the first 3 months is actually quite high, and we didn't want to jinx it, and we didn't want to box ourselves in.
So at this point, I then decided I actually want to throw you off the set, because you guys were sniffing around too much. So at this point, we started putting in subtle hints like giving Emma an alcohol-free cocktail, or put a beer in her hand while we cheers with Endless, just to make sure it looks like she's drinking through her pregnancy.
I assure you I wasn't. The next big thing we had to do was get myself booked in for the 12-week scan while we're out there, which turned out to be much more difficult and much more expensive than we thought.
It caused us a hell of a lot of stress off camera, trying to get this to align with where we wanted to travel in time. And because we're British and because we don't have a doctor and the whole system works differently, it was an absolute hassle, but we eventually found somewhere in Milwaukee, and we also used this time to catch up with one of Emma's school friends and their young family.
So I just had the 12-week ultrasound. He just had the 12-week ultrasound, and the baby wouldn't stop moving. So much energy. It clearly has Alex's energy. And you can see it like sucking its thumb and wriggling around in there so much. There's a foot. Can you see the foot?
Wow, that one is wild.
It was nuts. Like actually just sucking its thumb. Like, oh god, my mind's just blown right now. She said that everything was as she would expect it to look. And yeah, I'm just waiting for a blood test, and then we can go, and then we have to wait 5 days for the results. And then fingers crossed, everything's okay. At this point, we discovered that with the blood test that they do at the 12-week scan, you can also find out the gender.
We were not expecting this because in the UK, the earliest you can find out is at 20 weeks. So we were finding out 2 months ahead of schedule, and we were not prepared for this.
Now that we're back in the UK, we're actually planning a bit of a family movie night with Al's parents.
So they think that we're just going to be watching a movie, but actually we thought it'd be nice to reveal the gender to them by showing them the clip of when we found out.
We'd like to give a huge shout out to today's video sponsor, Anchor, for helping us create this epic movie night with their brand new 4K projector and portable speakers. These products are awesome, you guys. Let me show you a little bit more about them. This is the Cosmos Laser 4K projector, and this is an absolute beast. The display on this is insanely good and ultra bright, meaning that it can even be used with the lights on or during the daytime. It works just like a standard smart TV, so you have a little controller here, you have access to things like Netflix, Disney Plus, YouTube of course, and access to content is available using the 4K streaming dongle. We also have the Soundcore Motion Boom Plus speakers, which we are going to be using to create an epic surround sound experience. They are designed to be used outdoors, so they're perfect for van life, camping, or outdoor parties. And the fact that they're fully waterproof means you have peace of mind if you forget to bring them inside, especially in this rainy British weather we've been having. Both of these products are really lightweight and portable, meaning that it's really easy for us to move them between our camper van and to be able to have epic movie nights at home. And with the incredible sound quality of the speakers, we have already had some epic outdoor parties and great memories. We will make sure to leave a link down in the description if any of you guys are interested in finding out more information about either of these products.
Before we have a family movie night, I'm actually going to have a gaming day, because although the US trip was amazing, we are absolutely exhausted and dying for a switch off, and nothing switches the brain off better than playing video games for us.
It is absolutely crazy to me that that quality of image on the wall is coming from that tiny little box behind me. It is very impressive.
So my dad is in a band and he's a major audio snob. So what do you think of those?
Excellent, I'm very impressed.
So we're just getting everything cleared up and put away. Al's currently setting up the laptop with the projector so that we can play the gender reveal clip to them when they come back in. We've actually got one more thing to show you on the screen.
So I'm calling with that maternity 21 that was blood drawn pretty recently, where we were looking for chromosomal abnormalities in baby, hopefully ringing a bit of a bell.
Yeah, that rings a bell.
Perfect. So like I said, this is good news test result, so everything did come back negative or not detected across the board.
Fantastic.
Now this does also let us know sex of baby if that's information that you wanted today.
I would love that information.
Sounds good. Is right now over the phone all right? Or
Yeah.
would you prefer something like a MyChart message?
No, this is perfect.
Okay, all right. Well, congratulations, you're having a baby boy.
Oh my goodness. Wow, sorry. I'm really emotional.
That's okay. Lots of people are. I can promise you that. You are not alone.
Wow. Oh. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Happy to share the news. And again, baby's doing just fine on our end. Nothing detected. So, yeah.
That's fantastic.
All
Thank
good
you.
news. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Oh, God. Oh, amazing. Great. Thank you so much.
Yep, absolutely. Again, congrats on baby boy.
Thank you.
Yep, all right. You have a good rest of your morning.
Thank you. You too. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, my God. now.
Happy?
I am way more emotional than I thought I would be. It's just like I can imagine it now, you know?
I can't believe it. There's somewhere now to direct our love towards. A little me.
Oh my god, it's gonna be so cute. Little Alex, could you imagine?
Little me.
Oh, that was
so
easily the
lovely.
most exciting day, I think, of the whole thing so far, wasn't it?
Yeah. First time grandparents. How do you feel?
Old?
No, we're delighted, obviously.
That'd be great.
Can't wait.
We were both absolutely gobsmacked that it was a boy.
Yeah, I don't know why, but we were just certain it was going to be a girl.
Yeah,
I was absolutely certain.
Absolutely certain of it.
Even though it's 50-50, I hadn't even considered really that it would be a boy.
I think what happened was prior to getting pregnant, you thought you always wanted a boy. Then when I did get pregnant, you were kind of like preparing yourself for the fact that it would be a girl. And so
Damaged
like,
imitation.
like, right, it's going to be a girl, it's going to be a girl. So when it actually turned out to be a boy, we were both absolutely shocked.
But if our boy ever watches this, no, I always wanted you. Always wanted you as a boy. Always thought you'd be a boy.
Also, we were spending the week with our friends that have two adorable little girls that we absolutely love. And so I think spending time with little girls just put girls on the brain. We're both obviously over the moon, and it feels kind of weird to just be able to openly talk about this with you guys, with friends and family, and that is just kind of,
Yeah, it's been a strange few months.
yeah, very odd. It's been, yeah, odd trying to keep it a secret and cover it up.
But as far as pregnancies go, Emma has been an absolute trooper.
Oh.
Yeah, she's, on the most part, been a pleasure to be around.
What's that supposed to mean?
I think you know exactly what that means.
I've had my hormonal moments, I have to admit. But yeah, I feel extremely lucky. I've read so many stories online, heard stories from other people about, you know, insane nausea and sickness and all that kind of stuff. But for the most part, for those first 3 months, being on the road every day, I think I lucked out massively. I want to add one more thing for us. I am feeling 10 out of 10 today in terms of pregnancy. I feel like I have my energy back. I'm in week 14, so I feel like I haven't got any of that nausea or like weird symptoms like that. I do get headaches occasionally, but today is not one of those days, so I'm taking full advantage of that on this hike, and I just feel so happy.
Yeah, I think the worst part of the whole experience was these dreaded mice that we keep talking about. And
Oh yeah, by
it
the way,
wasn't just
dead mice.
the mice, it's also the fact, the hygiene of the mice. Just case in point, one night, this isn't on video, one night I wake up to a little tickle under my pillow. I jump out of my seat because there's a mouse under my pillow. I wake up Emma and I was like, there's been movement, and she's like, no, I think it's just me. Don't worry. We put on the lights, we look just behind the pillow of Emma and there's little mouse droppings.
Yeah.
And that's when we started to lose our minds, because having a pregnant lady in the space where little rodents are pooing where you eat and sleep, it's just not good for hygiene.
No.
We felt a bit trapped with regards to that.
Yeah, and it was very early days, we couldn't openly tell you guys about that, so we were dealing not only with the mice just in general and on camera and sharing that experience with you, but also behind the scenes there was a lot more stress than we were letting on. Also, I think all of that experience really did not help with the sleeping situation, and my sleep has been very disrupted just in general since getting pregnant.
Yeah.
So that did not help, and being tired would definitely, I feel, exacerbate a lot of symptoms.
Yeah,
especially
we're waking up
hormones.
to every noise throughout the night.
Yeah.
Which just obviously got into our minds, and yeah, it wasn't the best.
No.
I think something didn't really realise when having a kid is how much our brains would change, and so as equally parts excited as we were, and I can definitely speak for myself here, the opposite in terms of stress and worry and anxiety, which I've never suffered with before, but it came on in full force because I was so excited to have and meet our little boy, but then the provider brain kicked in, having to come to terms that we will never have enough. I can never make enough money for supporting the family, and It's been pretty
All-consuming.
crazy and all-consuming. I've lost my mind and close to had a breakdown on this trip with that in mind.
Yeah, it's almost a natural thing to respond in that way. But I think at the moment we're working on basically reframing it from being scared and anxious to actually really excited for the challenge. And it's just reframing your perspective in these situations is extremely helpful, I think.
On this channel about 6 years ago, we left England with £500 for about $700 between us. And we said we're going to make this travel lifestyle work. And we're still on that journey. Yeah. We still have made it work from that point. And having to remember that that is who we are. We like to do sink or swim challenges. This is the ultimate sink or swim. And when I think of that, then I know it's going to be completely fine. One lesson that we have learned from all of this is that we have to accept that Emma and I are both workaholics, and we cannot put our child through the schedules that we put ourselves through.
No.
So we're going to have to learn to slow down very quickly.
And I think also, like, obviously my change physically has really highlighted the fact that we need to recognize that and we need to slow down a little bit because it's not sustainable to be working that hard whilst pregnant, especially as I'm getting more and more pregnant and uncomfortable and physically unable to do those things.
So that leads us on to the future of the Travel Beans. And what does that mean for us and the channel? Is it over?
Is it over? Who knows? Well, we know.
Yeah.
Of course it's not. We just told you we're obsessed with it.
We're workaholics. We absolutely cannot stop. I think I would actually go insane if I wasn't doing this.
Yeah, you'd be so bored.
Firstly, we now have a camper van in the UK for our Europe base, and we have one in the US for our North American base, and those are two continents we love continuously exploring.
Yeah.
And being able to jump between the two of those is going to be just amazing, and being able to show our child the world through these means is just
Yeah, it makes us so happy that we managed to achieve that goal of having the two vans in the two continents before baby arrives, because I think it just unlocks so many possibilities for future trips as a family.
Yeah, it feels like we're set up for many years of travel, and it would be naive to think that our lifestyle isn't going to change. Everything's going to change.
At the end of the day, we are incredibly privileged, and we are incredibly grateful for that privilege to be able to share the world with our child.
Yeah.
I mean, what a gift.
I think it would be a criminal to have worked this hard, to have got to this point and not be able to spoil him rotten.
He's going to be such a little brat.
And make him the most unrelatable child in history. As he tells his classmates, "Oh, when Daddy took me to India to see the tigers." Oh, you haven't been to Pakistan? It's simply wonderful this time of year.
For the short term, as well as our camper in the US and UK, we are actually going to get a base here in the UK to come back to in between our trips.
So we have actually found a place, and we should hopefully be able to move in there in about a month's time, and we recently got to go and check it out.
This feels really grown up and really real.
Can't believe after years and years of travel that the place that we've ended up is in my hometown. That's the one thing I'd swear I wouldn't become.
The place we are renting is still a bit of a tip, and it's been left by the previous tenants after what appears to be a big party. So once the landlords have sorted the place out and it'll be ready for us, we will be moving in, hopefully before Christmas.
I think it will just be so nice to have a place to come back to, close to friends and family for visits in between trips. And where we are going to be living is going to be close to the airport. We have a space to park our camper van, so we're going to be ready to go and travel at the drop of a hat.
It might sound strange, but after about 7 years of continuous travel for ourselves, having a little base is like our dream holiday home. The thing that we like to do the most after our trips is just spend time doing nothing, usually at home with family.
Because this is the only time where Alex doesn't feel tempted to film.
Yeah, this channel will still be a travel channel, so we will not be filming our lives at home, but we're just very happy to be able to set some roots for a change.
Yeah. Before we end this video, we just want to say a big fat thank you to every single one of you who have been watching our videos over the past 7 years. People who've been there from the very beginning, and those of you who've joined in recent weeks. We appreciate every single one of you, and we We couldn't be doing this if it wasn't for you guys.
Our channel has evolved many times over the years,
Yeah.
and this is the next step in the evolution for us. And we don't know where it's going to go, but we just love sharing our lives with you. And the fact that we've been able to turn this into a job and to do this regularly is just something that we pinch ourselves every single day. And wholeheartedly, thank you so much for watching our videos and for helping us effectively afford to have a child. You guys are solely responsible for bringing this life into this world.
So that's a lot of responsibility. We have some exciting content coming up and planned, and we will be heading off in our UK van very soon. So make sure to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell to be notified of those videos.
Don't think you're done now. There's a like button. Press it. Our self-worth is measured in those like buttons, so please help us help ourselves, and we'll feel good about ourselves.
Brilliant.
If you could press like. Thank you very much. Anyway, nothing left to say. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time, and beans out.